It never seems like it ends. It never... Oh. Hit a bump. It never seems like it ends. And what I mean by that is, that's the thought that kind of goes through people's heads when you do difficult things and you do stuff that you don't want to do over and over. It seems like it'll never end. Well, this workout will lead to the next workout, then the next workout. What's the point? Because it never ends. And that mindset's not really the most healthy thing. And what I'm really going to talk about is mental tenacity and how you can achieve it, and actually it'll make your life easier. So we're going to dive into it. Mental tenacity. Basically, view it like a callus, a mental callus, where you can do things and it's not this painful, uncomfortable thing that you don't want to do. Alright? That's how I define mental tenacity, in that way. And for a lot of people, when they start to do new things, they start a business venture, they start running, they start weightlifting, diet, reading every day, any kind of discipline that's something that is daily, that you have to put time into, in the beginning can be uncomfortable. No matter what, it sucks. That's just the way it is. And a lot of people don't really want to keep going because that uncomfortability, if that's even a word, is what holds them back, because it just becomes more, I gotta do it again, and it becomes dreadful. Now, I could talk about mindset and... Ooh, is that the police officer? Nope, that is just a black car. But I can't be driving with a po-po vlogging, because that would be a terrible idea, right? I would honestly tell the cop and be like, hey, I was making a dope video helping people. Can you just give me a break? And maybe they would give me a break. But it wasn't a cop, so I'm done talking about hypothetical scenarios that don't really matter. Back to the point. Mental tenacity does become easier. It's no different than when you weight train and the first workout you do, the next day your DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness, that soreness you feel after you weight train, sucks. Your body aches, everything's kind of sore. But what happens is the next workout you do, your body recovers a little faster. The next workout, your body recovers a little faster. And then you can up the ante and go from there and progress. The same thing with mental tenacity. Even if it's not even a physical effort kind of thing, like training, running, if it's just something, well, as simple as reading a book every day, non-masturbating, right? Not smoking, not drinking, be abstinent. Things like that, where it takes mental strength to overcome those things that you otherwise would just break for. That becomes easier with time as well, because you are building that mental callus in your mind. And when you can overcome and you can be like, I'm gonna do this, and muscle through it, it's kind of like, some people describe it as going into caveman mode, right? You're just going caveman mode, shutting off your brain, knuckling through whatever you gotta do, and get on the other side. And in a way, you kind of have to do that slightly. You kind of have to shut off the part of your brain that's like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. I just want to rest. Because all the time, all your body is defaulted to do is rest. As little energy expenditure as possible. That's how we survived. Calories are currency to our bodies. They want to save as much caloric currency as it can. So naturally, you're not really a lazy ass. It's just nature trying to make you that way. So you have to override that internal thing that's trying to hold you back from uncomfortable stuff or things that you deem uncomfortable in your mind, because your baseline could be really low. And that's the other aspect. As you build that mental tenacity, your baseline raises a little bit. Your norm, your everyday raises a little bit higher. So say if your goal is to read a book a week, right? At first, it's daunting. Your brain's taking in all this information. You're trying to hold up in a section, not getting into an accident. Hello, sir. All right. Your goal is to read a book, one book a week, right? At first, all the information's gonna come at you. You're gonna be tweaking out. You're gonna be like, I can't do it. But you'll notice every day if you set goals and you're like, all right, I'm gonna read one chapter, then 2 chapters, then 3. And you get to that point where you can complete that book a week, your baseline of going from barely a chapter a week to 8 chapters in a week or a whole book in a week raises. And then you keep raising that baseline where most people look at you and be like, holy shit, how do you do that? And you're like, my baseline is literally 12 chapters in 2 days. Like, that's my functioning level, where that's my like bar. Come on, little man, with your white van. Ha ha ha. It's actually fun to drive and vlog. This is what I do. This is just regular me. Side note from the video, I talk to myself, act goofy, listen to stuff, and then ideas come and I speak them out loud. But why not speak them out loud with a camera? So, as you build that baseline, it's easier to get back to doing what you're doing, right? To grow and achieve that goal. Then that discipline just becomes your average life. That just becomes what you do. It becomes part of your identity. You know, people will be like, well, I train and I run for my training is running. I want to run all the time. That's my discipline. But after a certain point, that discipline becomes part of your identity because it's how you function. It becomes a part of your life. So when you start a discipline, you start a task, you start something that's difficult that you have to do consistently, keep in your mind that it does eventually become easier, and your brain can override those natural lazy tendencies that are inherent, right? And once you realize that, and there's light at the end of the tunnel, you'll be like, all right, I'm going to embrace this suck during this time period, even though it sucks all the way around, but I'm going to keep doing it because I know it will become easier, and it will. So raise that baseline, keep at it, it will become easier, and it will become something that you're like, I need to do this. So, like, comment, share, dude in his car. Love you guys.